What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer slash seducer, Nick Scarpino.
We made it, Greg. It's Friday.
It's Monday when they hear this, though. Remember,
Yeah,
don't worry.
perfect.
This is my again. If you ever listen to a Kind of Funny
Just
podcast,
derailed Nick so hard.
if you're not,
right
you're
there
not
for
a Kind
no
of Funny
reason.
podcast here, if this is your first one, I want to
Let him have it.
We
You know?
can't, we can't celebrate a week. We can't celebrate a frickin' week. You know what a week it's been.
Where were you driving originally? Kevin says I've derailed you. It definitely wasn't there. We can't celebrate a week.
We had a great week. I was gonna say we had a great week. That's it.
That's
Gotta
like when
correct every single
your
time.
teacher's
Well,
like
it
this.
certainly
This,
goes up at 9 a.m. on Mondays. You can't even say it's Mondays. 1/4 of
this
Monday's
essay
gone
has
already.
to be a page long, and you get there and you're like 2 sentences short. You're like, fuck. Well, it's like Abraham Lincoln said, we
You go
can't
in-
celebrate a week. What a week it's been.
12 font. No, 14 font. No, that was a 78 font essay right there.
Dude, you remember that
was
messing with the
spin at you.
margins? Messing
Oh,
with the
yeah.
margins.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Nick, before I
They always
introduce
do.
these other youngins and stuff like that, tell me your experience using a typewriter. Because I remember, like,
Ooh.
I vaguely remember using a typewriter. Never at
Oh
school,
my God,
but at home,
really?
my parents had a
Yeah.
typewriter. Oh,
I
yeah,
thought
mine
you were
had a
just
but not
making
at
an old
school.
joke.
No. That's Forbes
Oh,
30
no.
under 30, aka second best baby blues in San Francisco, aka the engaged one at Tim Gettys. No, Tim, we're being serious.
Wow.
I
Andy,
remember
did you know this?
distinctly. My parents had a typewriter in the '80s. They had a type. We didn't get a personal computer. I think we had an Apple like IIc. That was our first computer, and we didn't get that until maybe 86, 87. Maybe even later. So my dad had a typewriter in his office, and I remember
Sure.
him like when he had to type up business.
Yeah, totally.
And I used to love going after it was like a relic that we kept in the house for a while after we got the computer because you didn't typewrite anymore because you just print the dot matrix printer that we had, which I was
That
fascinated
giant
with too.
motherfucking dot matrix.
Oh, and
printer.
I always wanted to peel the edges
Yep.
off. I was like, let me peel. I got this. And I fucking ripped it every single time. My dad was like,
Do you remember
"Fucking
this
idiot
kind of
kid."
paper, Tim? Are you
Yeah.
too young for that even? No, you
I
don't
mean,
remember?
I never used it, but I know what paper
Yeah.
you're talking about. I am happy that this conversation went the way it did because I thought you guys were using typewriters. Your parents having typewriters, just being
no,
around them, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
I thought Nick was like writing school papers on his fucking typewriter.
No.
By the time I got to junior high, we were using computers. Like anything I needed to do that was a paper that wasn't handwritten was done on a computer. But I used to love. I think my grandpa had one too. Like my grandpa Scarpino. You'd walk into the house, and right when you'd walk in, the room to the left was his den, and that was like I was never allowed in there, even though he had passed away. Actually, I think the year I was born.
What do you
he
think was
passed
in
away.
there?
His body.
I used to sneak in, of course, because that parents would be out, eating and drinking or whatever, and I used to sneak in and look around. But he had an old typewriter also.
Did he
And
have a really
I just-
dope letter opener?
He had like letter
He
openers,
had to
lighters.
Yeah.
He had something that my dad. I think I've told this story before, but like he had cigarettes from Air Force.
Oh, Air
One.
Force One. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think my dad ended up getting those, and then my brother and I smoked them.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah,
assholes.
yeah.
Fucking like 50-year-old cigarettes. We just smoked them, Kevin.
remember that story.
They were terrible. They like exploded in our mouth.
Didn't your dad
We
catch
smoked
you
all of them.
too? He's like, where the fuck did these cigarettes go?
I
thought I remember a big Lou story like that.
Fucking kids. We just smoked them and put them back in the drawer. So we would smoke one a week and put it back in the
Idiots,
drawer,
yeah.
and it was a soft pack. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like you could hide it. Like for me, people
Yeah.
who weren't familiar with cigarettes. Soft packs, you got to tear open the little thing, and then they're just open. There's no little door thing like they have in the hard packs, and they were just a soft pack of Camels. That had the Air Force One seal on them. It was super fucking cool. And my brother and I were like jonesing for a fix. And so we smoked all of them, which was terrible. But I think those came from my grandpa. But long story short, I loved playing around with typewriters because you mash all the keys and they'd get stuck, and then your parents would come over and yell at you.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the same experience with the parents' typewriters. I don't know if my dad ever used it, but it was a brand called Brother, and it had a digital screen on it. Like,
Oh yeah. Remember
the
that?
screen was black and it had sort of a green kind of
Oh,
dot
like calculatory
matrix.
looking.
Yeah, but way cooler looking. Like not like
Like
uh,
new, like digital.
like a grid type pixel sort of screen. Not like, the fucking stupid numbers, the calculators. Not this shitty General Electric
Fuck
alarm
that
clock that everybody
General
had back in the
Electric
day. This is a cool typewriter, and I always
Dope-ass
pretended I was in a spy movie. Not like that, Kevin. It was close, but it looked like the one that when you got it, you were the cool dude with that typewriter because it was
Sure.
like all black. It had that screen, and it just felt much higher
That's so
tech.
dope. Like, what's
And,
Andy trying to prove in the office? Why does Andy have He doesn't need that fucking typewriter.
That'd be
I should have
awesome
that
if Andy
typewriter.
strictly only used a typewriter at the office.
Well, if you remember, Joey's keyboard was like a typewriter.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
So-
you're
This
right.
one,
True.
Andy?
Mechanical.
I don't think so. Actually.
Andy, you keep looking through these while you do that. I'm going to introduce you as the Hispanic heartthrob Texas treat, Latino heat, clicking heads, ripping them to shreds, the globe-trotting, head-shotting, nitro rifle, standing desk using, Standy Andy himself from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
I got a bone to pick with the new CVS employee. We'll talk about this guy later.
Oh,
All right, yeah. For here though, I typewriters. I think of big old Jamie Kennedy. She had one, and it had that hard shell top.
Yes, you had to
click
click it off and pull it off.
You bust that motherfucker out. Something was about to happen. And then Grandma Miller,
What do you mean something was about to happen? What does that mean?
I mean, what the fuck are you using a typewriter for, right?
To them inside.
You were gonna get in trouble.
You know what I mean? We're writing to McDonald's, get Greg some Happy Meal toys. We're getting out there. We're writing something to tax people. I don't know what adults did with it. I remember the Happy Meal thing because it worked out in our favor and I got all the toys I wanted. But I don't remember the rest of them.
I remember having to type something.
I feel like Tim is as confused as I am. How does this relate to Happy Meals?
That's where she wrote the letter that got me all the Happy Meal toys I wanted.
Remember the story where Greg
who'd you send this to, Ronald?
And they said you
McDonald's.
can't have it.
I don't know. I mean,
So
again, this is a simpler time. This is what 1985.
This doesn't sound simple at all.
1985, 86.
You wrote a letter to get Happy Meal toys. That's not a simple thing.
Here, I'm fuzzy on the specifics, but if I remember correctly, what it was is we went to the McDonald's for the Happy Meals. As you all know, I'll come out. I'm gonna come out and out myself because I know where this conversation is gonna go 15 feet before we get there. All right. Okay. As you all know, the Muppets are overrated. All right.
Oh, Jesus
all
Christ.
the Muppets are overrated. It's not overrated. Doesn't mean it's bad. Tim says pepperoni pizza is overrated, right? Doesn't mean it's bad. Just means it's overrated, right? Like, okay, everybody's creaming their jeans over these goddamn Muppets.
Living under a roof is overrated.
Having access to clean water overrated.
Yeah.
Muppets are overrated. Muppet Babies drastically underrated. Muppet Baby.
Oh wow!
Muppet Babies are the shit. All right. I don't know if they stopped making Muppet Baby cartoons, but they need to bring them back. Because Muppet Babies, you got Nanny coming in like this. Shit happening.
I didn't know you had such a strong stance on the Muppet Babies.
Oh my god!
To come out and say Muppet Babies are the shit.
Yeah, like,
wow.
Why'd they even give Kermit a little sailor outfit? Like that was a weird
honestly,
call.
this might be one of the reasons I hate the Muppets so much is that they all grow up to suck ass, but as babies, they're fucking dope. You know what I mean? Rolf out there tickling the ivories.
I just hope that Elise Willems never hears you say that because
as long as nobody fucking narcs, chat be
these kids
cool.
are narking on a riot. They're narking on you right fucking now. Clip that out, send it to her. R.I.P. your friendship with her.
R.I.P. your friendship with her. Thanks, Nick. That's exactly what I need. Anyways, Muppet Babies are insane. Everybody knows this, right? I mean, these little guys are the coolest fucking things in the world. Not to mention, I don't remember, did they ever have a canon answer for why Nanny's got all these Muppet Babies? Like, I don't know if I want the answer.
She was the nanny. She was taking care of them. It was
but
like
there were no parents.
They didn't need. Who fucking cares about parents?
Kevin, didn't you just talk recently about Elmo having a parent or something that we saw?
Yep, way more established show. That's all I'm saying. You know.
I mean, same part of the company though, right? Muppet Babies, Sesame Street, all the same, all Jim Henson.
No,
they're kissing cousins.
Aren't they like competing shows?
I don't think Sesame Street is Jim
I think
Henson.
they hate each other. It's like a gang thing.
Kevin, I would put my money right now. Gun to my head, I would say.
You Big Bird's kicking
I
ass,
bet you they've all merged by this point.
No,
but I feel like back in the day they were deadly rivals.
Sesame Street seems to have a lot to do with Jim Henson.
Yeah,
I think it did.
Swore they were Henson.
Sure.
The program is known for its images communicated through the use of Jim Henson's Muppets.
Which Henson though? Which one?
Jim Henson also.
James.
Yeah, but
The
like
only
which one?
The one who was
like
lanky.
more than one.
But like, didn't Jim Henson also have a lot to do with like Legend? And it's like Legend has nothing to do with the Muppets, right?
Well,
like,
no, but it used Jim Henson Studios. So Jim Henson Studios was what produced a lot of this. Like Jim Henson Studios did a lot of movies back in the day. They just hired him out to do like the Muppet stuff, like Dark Crystal and stuff like that. He didn't direct. Maybe he did direct Dark Crystal.
But what I'm saying
he
is
did.
because he did two things that seem like they're related doesn't mean they are related.
Yeah, are they in the same universe?
No,
what about when
they're not
Grover went
cousins.
missing? When Grover went
Kissing
missing, I remember Big
cousins.
Bird, they had a fucking thing and they were moving a stupid bus around. Like, I guess that doesn't involve Kermit or Piggy. Well, hold on,
Here's
does
the
it?
thing. Bruce's
I don't
mom
know if
is
there's a
named
crossover.
Martha.
Yeah.
And Clark's mom is named Martha. But they're
Martha.
not brothers. Not
I
related
see
at
what sort of
all.
But
concept
they're in
you're-
the same.
They're not
universe.
even
That's a
cousins.
concept.
They're not even
But
cousins, though. You see what I'm saying? They just
But
both
Despite
have mom,
Andy's
same Martha.
insistence, it is the same Jim Henson.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Greg, I think you might need to call Elise to get to the bottom of this because she will definitely know if Sesame Street and the freaking Muppets are how related.
As we've
they
covered
are.
before, I don't have her phone number.
Oh.
She refuses to give it to me
Ooh,
because
that's
she
smart.
Again,
Yeah.
people have learned in this industry that once I have your phone number,
Bad
I
news,
will just call you live on
Bad
podcast.
idea.
And if you
Terrible
get a call
idea.
from me, it means either somebody's dead or I have a question on a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm
It's usually
calling.
gonna be a
The
question
last
that's
time you call
embarrassing for
someone and tell
everyone.
them that
I'm already
someone
calling her.
died.
No, Andy's calling.
Keep talking.
Damn.
Keep talking.
Okay.
Keep talking.
God, that got dark there, Kev.
I feel
for
like
a
Andy
second.
couldn't.
I can do it
that's
today
what
if
he
you want,
said.
Kev.
Some, you
You wanna call Jody
you
and
got
tell her
news to give?
Bullshit. Greg is wrong.
What did Greg say? How
Thank
do you
you.
even? How do you know already?
Thank you. Because we have kids. The kids.
I know that Greg is shit talking them up. I know. I got voices.
Okay,
I got
but
whispers.
okay. What if I told you this, Elise? What if I told you he thinks the Muppet Babies drastically underrated?
Greg said that?
Yeah,
Greg Miller?
Greg Miller said that. Yeah.
Ask about Big Bird.
Why was he saying that?
It's all about the Happy Meal toys.
We were talking. We're trying to get to a story about Happy Meal toys, and he said, obviously, we know Muppets are very overrated, and we all like shit on him. And then he said, but Muppet Babies really underrated. Like, wow, I didn't know he had that sense. Anyway, at least, this Jim Henson fella, there's only one of them. First off, right?
The only one cannot be replicated,
Okay,
cannot be duplicated.
of course. Did Jim Henson work on the Muppets and Sesame Street?
Yes, he did. I mean, he, concepted Sesame Street. There was a woman that worked in Sesame Street. I don't remember her name though.
But you would say he's more of a Muppet guy, not a Sesame Street guy.
Sure.
Like he was kind of
Are they
he was somewhat involved with Sesame Street.
Andy, that's a leading question.
Okay.
So I'm going to go where you're leading. He was somewhat involved with Sesame Street. Yes, he was involved with it. The Sesame Street characters would be considered Muppets as well.
Whoa! What?
No,
What?
that's she's making shit up right now, guys.
I believe if you check the language, some of the puppets on Sesame Street would in fact be categorized as Muppets.
Like,
There's like a
for sure
lowercase
Muppet.
m.
Tim's asking is it like a lowercase m? Like, is it not a proper noun, but is it more of just a
the
regular noun?
Muppets.
Is the official trademarked? Actually, I don't know.
Damn
She had
it.
me going there for
We got really excited there. I thought we were telling the truth. All right. Well,
So-
anyway.
Are they in the same universe? Does she know that part? Have they ever done the same thing?
Happy Meal Muppet Babies toys were fire. I had them all.
Wait. What? How do you know about the Muppet Baby toys? Is Greg texting you? Is Greg DMing you?
No, he's not. I had them because I'm, born in '86. So come 90, 91 or whatever, I
That
had
was
those
fun.
Muppet Babies Happy Meal toys. There's like Fozzie was on a rolling rocking horse thing. I think Miss Piggy was in a pink car.
Wow, you and this Greg Miller guy got a lot more in common than you think. I
Muppet
know you all
Babies
don't really
unite us
like
all.
each other.
Cross the aisle.
He's the clown prince.
He's a clown
Some might
prince.
say.
Yes.
Clown,
All right, Elise.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your intuition. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Love to chaos.
Tell James I said hi. Bye. Love you.
There they are. Kevin's
Hi.
got the Muppet Baby Happy Meal toys pulled up right now. Great job. Look
Okay.
at that. Look at that
Miss Piggy's
gonzo.
eyes. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, she
They
was
were
not-
just
Don't.
a little off. Like,
She's high as
Even
fuck.
Animal looks more normal than Miss Piggy. Yeah, she was
She's
high as
stoned out of her
fuck.
mind,
Well,
it's
no,
clear.
then there's Gonzo, but Gonzo makes sense. Like,
Gonzo
Gonzo
looks
like
great.
that.
Muppet. Look at his Kermit on this game. So we went to the McDonald's, and I don't know which. I think probably Kermit, maybe Gonzo, because I'm talking such high praise about Gonzo right now. I wanted him. And they
you
didn't have him.
Gordo for Gonzo?
I was Gordo for Gonzo back then. And so they didn't have them.
Gordo
And for some reason, I don't, and again, I'm not sure 100% what the story is. We should probably call my mom. But it was that they didn't have the one I want, and we didn't go to another McDonald's. Hold on a second.
By the way, happy belated birthday
To
to your mom.
Yeah.
Saturday. Nice. Ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game.
I don't know what belated means.
Say happy birthday,
Hello?
then when she says it's
Hey,
happy
Paula,
birthday,
it's
say,
Greg.
Gotcha. Oh,
Hey,
gosh.
Greg.
I have horrible news. Kevin's dead.
Oh, no.
Just wanted you to know. He said right before this, he had challenged me to say, when's the last time you called somebody and told them somebody died? So I wanted to break the news to you right now that Kevin's passed away.
The
Thank you for telling me.
No problem. You know, we're with you. We're with you in your hour of need.
There's no way.
All right, bye.
Anything you need, Paula. Anything you need.
Anything you need, says Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing to happen today is Kevin making the sounds he just did
Yeah.
and then hearing them kind of twice.
That
That was like PlayStation 3D audio.
You gotta understand.
I can't
like,
tell if it was pain or elation. I don't know which
I
one
was
those
laughing.
sounds
I was
are.
laughing.
Good,
Greg
good.
calls, and I hear the phone ring over here, right next to me. And I look over, I'm like, no, he's calling his mom. Why would he be calling Paul?
And now we'll call Jamie Kennedy. We'll get an answer for you. And good call about the birthday. That's earned me some points there. As long as she doesn't watch this, which is come on.
Hello.
Hey, Mom, it's your son Greg. How are you?
Good. And you?
I'm great. You're on the Kind of Funny podcast. Andy
I kind of
says.
figured.
Andy says happy birthday. Obviously, he's the only one who remembered
Thank
out
you,
of Nick
Andy.
and Tim. I don't know.
We all
So-
remember.
You're a
No,
piece
no.
of shit, Greg. You're a
Adults,
piece
what
of
can I
Yeah,
say?
exactly. Here's the thing. I've stumbled into typewriter stories and talking about the time you wrote to McDonald's and got them to send me all the Muppet Babies Happy Meal toys.
I did?
Yeah, God damn it, Mom. Yes. Yeah. Do you remember this at all?
No, not at all.
Damn. All right, cool.
What typewriter story?
Well, the typewriter's meaningless. I think you wrote to McDonald's through the typewriter. It was that we went to a McDonald's, they didn't have the Happy Meal toys, and then you put pressure on McDonald's and got them to mail all the Happy Meal toys to me. I remember this
I
very
do
vividly.
remember that.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember what the deal was? Did I want Gonzo or did I want McCormick? Do you remember?
Probably wanted them all.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
thought
Okay.
you
Well,
was in
they didn't
McCormick.
have them, and I got irritated because they advertise them and they suck you in to go and get them. So,
That's how they get you.
That's
Yep.
yeah.
All right. Well,
so
okay.
I took matters in my own hand and got them for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mom.
You're very welcome.
All right. Happy birthday. We'll talk tomorrow.
You bet.
All right,
Love
bye.
you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
God bless her. I love it.
It's that thing of I'm gonna, having lived a life, as they say, Andy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Grown up and made memories
course,
and all this
yeah.
stuff. All these things that are so like vivid to me. That was just a Tuesday for Mom. And so it's gonna be interesting one day to have a child, maybe have many children, and then they do all these things that they're gonna look back in 38 years and be like, you remember this time you did X, Y, and Z? And I'll be like, I don't remember any of that. I don't even know your name. You know what I mean? Go visit you. Go visit Uncle Nick is what I'll say.
Hey,
You
did it
want
on
me
the
to tell you every
podcast.
lyric to any song ever? I got you, bro.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is it weird to think that like you could be like having a conversation that your kid's gonna look at and then be like, yeah, see, you said it on this conversation.
Yeah. You mean like right now they look back on podcasts, you mean?
Yeah. But I mean,
No,
even
you guys-
later, let's
I don't
say
think you guys understand how kids work. They don't give a shit what their
No, but,
parents
like,
did
10 years from
prior
now-
to them coming into the world.
But
Like,
like,
your
no
kid-
kid's gonna want to, and that's the thing. Again, here, do me a favor, chat. Nobody narc to my kid in 30 years that go back and listen to this moment, right? Because they're never gonna they're never gonna go listen to the hours and hours and hours. They might for just to realize how stupid their dad was. You know what I mean? To actually convince themselves to get an education. But they're not gonna come back here and like be actively being like, oh man, now
They're
that
gonna be
we're into the 67th Marvel movie, I better go back and see what Dad was talking about. This is Beast fucking a mango. Jesus Christ.
They're gonna be on the bus drive to school, and then Rimothy's gonna lean over and be like, "Hey, did you hear what your dad said? I'm listening to this old podcast." And Paul's gonna be like, "What are y'all talking about, guys?" And it's just gonna be a whole little group of friends.
Yeah.
It's what I hope to see.
They only hang out together. Kevin's driving the bus.
Yeah. What I
Muppet
also would
babies.
like,
A
I
fan.
would like a 75-year-old Nick to adopt a kid, and like maybe 80-year-old Nick, and he becomes
but
a
like
father.
adopt like a
I'd love to.
25-year-old kid to like
Yeah,
eventually-
yeah, exactly, Kevin.
Just a
Exactly.
kid who desperately doesn't want to be adopted. I'm like, come on.
He's like 32.
come on.
It's just
I
you.
have a dad. He's alive still. You're friends with him. Stop trying to adopt me. My name is Rimothy.
See, that would be the kind of thing Nick would try to do, is just turn Rimothy against him. You know what I mean? Like that would be the thing.
I would never turn a kid against their father. But I would.
What about their mother?
100%.
She is
Come on.
fucked.
Wait,
No,
like,
but I
Greg,
would definitely want to be cool Uncle Nick. Like cool Uncle Nick lets you do whatever you want to do. So all the kids are gonna want to come hang out at cool Uncle Nick's house.
What are they gonna do? Drink
I don't
way
know.
too
I
much
have-
Diet Coke?
Yeah, I have no idea. I guess can you feed a child Diet Coke?
Your
in
house
Cinnamon
might
Toast
be
Crunch?
the least fun house out of
Oh,
all of
so
us
not
for a
fun.
little kid to hang out in.
That's
like they're gonna be
100%
there.
true.
They're gonna open the fridge like,
Now-
oh, we're gonna eat all his fucking snacks, and they're gonna be like, Great. The
just
Oreos are
pastrami.
gone that are sitting next to us,
Yeah.
and it's just a bunch of pastrami. Good call, Kevin. Thank you.
You say that, but think about how it would really go. Is that like Nick and D, we need you to babysit the kid. All right, great,
Oh
right?
my God,
And then
we're
Nick would
getting-
just bring the kid into the office and be like, finally someone to play with. And they'd have like he'd bring out his Funko Pops that he's had to put away and just put in his storage. He'd be you want to watch Batman? He'd put down his phone,
No, like,
watch
and
Batman finally.
That's the thing to me is like this is the problem is you guys are all going to be fun dads. So there's nothing that cool Uncle Nick can do that's going to be more fun than like what y'all are going to like hang out with the kid on the weekend. So in my brain, I'm like, yeah, it's fucking business from Monday to Friday. But if I'm babysitting one of your kids on like a Saturday night, we're getting fucking pizza. We're getting ice cream. That's like cheap meal city for me, right? We're watching
Sure.
fucking RoboCop.
I
don't
knew
give
it.
a
It's gonna be an
fuck
Okay,
what
wait,
age
wait.
your
Young,
kids
it
are.
doesn't matter
So
how
this
old
We're
whole
you
watching
are.
RoboCop. We're watching
She's too-
Predator.
See,
I'm
So
sending
this
that
is
kid
for
home
you.
an
This
adult.
is for you to have a better weekend. That's what
This
it's
is
all
what
about.
I mean. Let's put it this way: there's only one reason to have kids to enrich your own life. You're not trying to
enrich
fucking make
Nick's
their
life.
yeah. You're not making these kids' life any better. You're having kids because you want to have a kid because it's a cool thing to pal around with, and you lay all your shit onto them, like all your hopes and dreams that you didn't get to do. The kid's you're gonna be a fucking football player, kid, or else. You know what I mean? But Uncle Nick, I don't have that problem. I don't have that. You know, I could just hang out. It's Nick Scarpino's house where a kid can be a kid.
It's Nickelodeon. You nailed it. That was
Exactly.
way too good.
That was good. Yeah,
I
pulled that one out of my
think of
keister.
it this way, Nick. I think maybe the legends foretold of this coming for you and this being where you're going. Because for how many years would I climb into your car and what would I say?
Oh, we gotta kill
Such
Tim.
a clean car.
No.
It smells like his
about your
uncle's
car.
car.
About
Uncle,
your car.
Uncle
Smells
Scott's
like
car. It smells like
Smells like Uncle
Scott's car.
Scott's
Yeah.
car. And let me tell you, going to Aunt and Uncle Scott's, that was the party. That was the thing. They had no kids and obviously had a car that had leather in it because they had no kids. And so you'd go there and that's exactly what you're talking about. Let's watch a movie. Let's eat a pizza. Let's hang out and have some
Wait,
fun. You want to play
Greg,
some
did
Game
you-
Boy golf? Let's do it. Yeah, sorry.
Did you not have a lot of like cousins and stuff to go hang out with, or was it
Jody.
I didn't have any cousins.
Jody and Julie were much older than me.
really
Not
Oh,
much
okay.
older. I shouldn't say much older. They were older than me. So like by the time I was like, I told the story about like with Jody on the thing, right? About not letting her watch Bon Jovi. Like, she's like 17 then when I'm like 6, right? Like there's enough of a gap there that we weren't like
life.
hanging out. We weren't like friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were the cool older cousins that I looked up to, but I wasn't like
So
hanging out.
you didn't have any cousins your age that
No,
you
I
just...
crossed the line last. Yeah, I was the last one there.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Because like, I can't imagine that. My whole life was just weekends with cousins at the house, or me at my uncle and aunt's house, hanging out with my cousins there. There was always multiple cousins from other families around, and it was just always either, my cousins Sarah and Selena. We would pretend we had like a Tonight Show sort of thing. And like we would host our own fake news segments and stuff. Or if I was with my cousin Nick or whatever, we were playing baseball and basketball with my cousin Marco. And, there was always a thing. I'm like, I can't imagine a life without that, because every weekend was, let's go, it's so-and-so's birthday party, or the boxing match is happening. And so you'd always go to your uncle and aunt's house and everybody's there. And everybody's getting drunk, and the kids are just like, playing video games and throwing the football on the street and shit like that. I can't imagine a life without that.
Nah,
So
that
interesting.
wasn't our life at all. Yeah, no.
Wow. Tim, how about you?
I had a lot of cousins, not a lot. I had enough cousins growing up that I did that similarly with. But I mean, at the end of the day, like Kevin was that to me. Like
Got
we
it.
were always like hanging out with him and his family, and like a lot of people related to him, whether there were actual cousins or neighbors or like people that
Sure.
his mom knew at some point. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
all kind of gets messy when you're little. But my actual cousins, like in a very tragic turn of this whole thing, like I have 3 different cousins that were like my age group that have all died.
Wow.
And it's like really, really sad shit. Like some of it drug related, some of it just like we don't even fucking know what the hell happened. But like I hung out with them a lot when I was really little. But then otherwise it's like, I'm so not close to my family that it's like I have my it's my mom, my brother, and then pretty much Kevin's families. I see
Yeah.
them as my family more than my actual
I guess
family.
what my mom's one of 9 and had plenty of like all of my uncles and aunts all had kids. So it was like they were all like, I guess the only people that didn't have kids were the youngest. My uncle Rene, who passed away about 10 years ago now, maybe. And then his twin brother, my uncle Raul, who lives in Austin, but his kids are like, wait, they're little tiny babies. They're like, 6 years old and 3 years old or whatever. But man, that's so wild because I don't, that was just my whole life was sports, playing basketball, playing football, getting your knees nicked up on the ground, being super itchy because you're playing tackle football on the grass, and holy shit, that was my life, dude. And I hated the whole allergies and getting itchy part. But
did you hang out with your brother a lot?
Yeah, well, I mean, so it was always my brother's 5 years older than me, and I was always the youngest of that group. So it was always like 7-year-old me, my 12-year-old brother, but it would be my cousin Selena is 8, my cousin Sarah's 9, my cousin Nick and Marco are both like 10 or 11. So that like there was always a big kind of age group that sort of spanned me and my brother. So we all kind of eventually just all hung out together. So yeah, my brother was it was always like sports between me and my dad and my brother. Throwing the old flinging the pill, throwing the pigskin in the street, tripping on fucking concrete and just getting like the worst rashes and shit. Oh my god, like nightmares, dude.
In
Tim,
the chat on the
I was gonna
live
say
show.
Nick, how about you? But it's okay.
Well, we've heard all of Nick's stories. What do you got? What do you got for me, Nick?
Oh no, I mean, I
You and Matt Scarpino fighting some cousins in the streets?
we don't. I didn't have any blood cousins, but we had. My parents grew up with like almost their whole life a tight group of friends who had kids, and so we were all. And they did the thing where they were like, "Well, you're having a kid, I'll have a kid," and they tried to time it so that the different like my brother's age, there was a whole line of kids there, and then my age there was a whole line of kids. They like spaced it all that out. So I always had someone to hang out with. We'd go to their houses and do that. But I never had any like none of my dad's siblings had any kids, which is weird because he has 4 siblings. Very strange. But I do have a couple cousins in Italy, and we Facebook talk every once in a while on Messenger. It's cool. They speak better English than I do Italian, though.
Did you ever like climb roofs with them? Because we would always climb my roof.
No, I climbed roofs I had a bunch of neighborhood kids that I would hang out with because my elementary school is really close to my house, and so all of us would like walk to school and stuff. And inevitably, if anyone like my buddy Maury lived on in like one of the ranch style homes, so it was like 1 story, so it was really easy to get up on his roof and immediately jump off. And I wonder why my knees hurt today.
That's what
that's what we're doing.
Interesting. That's what you pulled, Andy. Because from the chat, I was pulling Ryan Powala Higgins, who writes, "My cool uncle once got really drunk and scaled the house, perched on the roof, and pretended to be Spider-Man. Child me was impressed, and I can totally understand that, Ryan. That would impress me to this day."
Well, what's funny is like how old you have to think back, right? This is what always trips me out. As I think back to the early memories of when I was like a little idiot kid running around like Christmas Eve at my Uncle Jim's house. We're eating C's candy. My Aunt Angela used to take the C's candy, poke her thumb, like her pinky nail into it, look at it, and see if it was what she wanted. If she didn't, she'd put it back down. So inevitably, you would pick up the candy and you would hit your tongue. You're like, something's not right about this. I was like all in it. But I started thinking to myself, I was like, how old were my aunt and uncles when I was that age? And I'm inevitably older than they were at a certain point, because my parents are 70, and my dad was the second to oldest kid. So my Uncle Paul, I think he's got to be like in his 50s. So they must have been like 25 to 30 range when all that was happening when I was a kid. So it's so weird to think that like how old they were now, that's how old we are to like kids. We're fucking old. It's weird.
Crazy, but it's
Think
real.
about that.
Some of us more than others.
But I mean, even I don't think any of us are.
I think all the kids. I think the kid wouldn't be discerning. He's not gonna be like, well, that fucking the guy with the gray beard is way older than the guy with the other gray beard.
Slightly less gray beard.
The funniest thing right now with kind of funny is I'm seeing it happen with Blessing and Barrett specifically, that like they keep siding more on the Roger side of things of like being young. And I guess granted, like if we're talking about percentage wise, like they are on that side, but it's like they're so much older than they realize and that they think they are. I know. Like they're getting to that point where it's like, I don't remember exactly how old they are, but I think they're 26, maybe 25. But it's just like, oh, y'all are over that. Once you hit 25, it's just kind of like, okay, you're in a different place now. And it's just all of a sudden, you're just the like.
No, I like that's the slippery rope.
It works the same way, right? It works the same way.
There's so much honey.
Getting older.
There's so much oil on this rope. It's so slippery.
I just feel like as you get older, when you're in elementary school, that's a bracket, and then middle school, high school, college, out of college, and then all of a sudden, once you hit like 25, like once you're no longer like fresh out of college in that phase, the groups start getting a lot longer. It's just like, oh, you're just in your 30s, then you're just in your 40s, and at some point, like, there's not even those categories anymore.
No, people stop.
You're just
after 40, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah,
but the
you're
thing
just
is, like, when you hit 25, you start having friends in different age bracket groups, and that's like cool, right? Like when you were 21, all of your friends were 21. You didn't have any friends that were 31, right? You didn't have any friends that were 40. You had 25, you had 30. I got friends that are, now 23, all the way up to like their 60s, for Christ's sake. People that I would actually consider my friends. Which is crazy. But Tim, I remember the day you became, I'm not gonna say old, but an older adult. And it was, I forget what the kid said to you on Twitter, but you had an opinion about something, and some kid was like, damn, dude, Tim's fucking old. That's like a really outdated, or it's like, Tim likes that shit. That's old. And you were like, what the fuck? And I was like, yes. Yes.
No, but what's funny is I'm seeing that happen with like Barrett now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, this is how Nick must have felt, where it's like, oh, it's coming, bitches. It's coming. You don't know, but it's coming.
Just wait,
you don't know,
motherfucker.
man. You slow down a little bit, and these young kids out there, they keep going. They're just fast, man.
Dude,
shit.
a real quick story I want to tell. Yesterday,
Please, we got to get out of here. This podcast is wrapping up.
Well, I like where we're at. I like this conversation. I want to get back to it, but just a real quick thing is the BAFTAs happened yesterday as of recording, and I was lucky enough to be a very small part of it, just being interviewed for some stupid shit, in my opinions. But just I was in the waiting room for a long time, and like a lot of like really fucking dope, like awesome people were there, including Raul, and like Troy Baker was there for a second, Ashley Johnson, the entire cast of Hades, like a lot of really, really, really cool people. For the longest time, though, I was there with pretty much everyone at Supergiant. So everyone that worked on Hades.
Was Greg there?
Yeah, Greg was there, and like the entire voice cast, essentially, the writers, the blah, 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 everybody. And they had won the Game of the Year at BAFTAs, so it was like a very fun moment, and it's just me sitting there, which was very embarrassing. But I was trying to be cool. I was trying to like engage with them or whatever. And it was working to a point, and they could tell that I was the outsider, so they were trying to be cool with me too. Like the voice of Hades himself was like especially cool to me. And I was like, this is the raddest thing ever. But he was talking, and he was like, Greg was about to do his interview. And the person that went before him, while they were doing the interview, Greg was like, oh man, he's in PR mode. I've heard him tell this story like 15 times in every interview. So I was like, Greg, when you go up next, I want you to say something you've never said before.
And he's like, just dropped
he's
a
like, you know what?
slur.
I'm good with the challenge. Oh shit, no, wasn't that? But so he goes, and so while he was doing it, the rest of us were like,
Muppet Baby is underrated.
But so he went and he did some shit, and he told a story about how it wasn't the plan to make every character design thirsty as fuck. Like they just made characters, but then the internet latched on to the look of so many of these different Hades characters, and they're thirsty. There's a lot of like horny on main, a lot of stuff going on. And so he was talking about that.
Well.
And exactly. And he was when he came back, he was talking about he's like, oh, I did it. That was the story. I haven't told that before or whatever. And he was like, yeah, like it was designed by Gen Z, and how it's really like working with them, blah blah blah, saying all this stuff. And I was thinking through it, and like in my mind, I was like, oh, like Gen Z. Like they were talking about how these designs are very like Gen Z focused and like tailored towards them. And I was saying how cool that is and blah, blah, blah. And I was talking. And then at some point they were like, Tim, it was Jennifer Zach or whatever.
Gen Z. Yeah.
Who was the designer.
That's such a fucking Nick Scarpino moment right there.
And Nick.
Yeah.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I thought, I feel like Nick right now.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
Did you show your tongue to try to get out of it?
Oh, no. I mean, I was like, at this point, it was probably the third embarrassing thing that I was a part of in this call. So it was kind of like, at this point, I was like, I'm just going to own this role, similar to how I do here. And kind of funny,
To be fair, that's a pretty. I mean, I can understand that mistake. If someone was like, "We made this like this comes straight out of Gen Z," I'd be like, "Okay, well, you got to clarify that a little bit, everyone, for the uninitiated here. If there's someone named Gen Z, Let's clarify that for people
Yeah.
in the room that don't know it. But hey,
It's
what do
all
you do?
about just
That's funny.
carrying yourself as a, just feel younger inside, like you don't have to. I think a lot of people go, wow, Andy, I didn't think you were as old as you are. And I think it's because when I'm on stream, or when I'm on these podcasts, happy go lucky, and then I play the dumb character and stuff like that. I'm also dumb too. Let's not act like I'm not. But yeah, I think it's so much more about how you just carry yourself online as a person. And I think that's why maybe people think that I am younger than I am. But like, here's the thing when it comes to TikTok and all these memes and viral shit and music, I've been out of the loop for so long that even at age 25, I felt out of the loop. You know what I mean? So when it comes to music and people bringing up these songs, that shit's never affected me, being like, damn, I don't know what these are. Like, I feel super old right now. It's like, no, I've just always been out of the loop. I never listened to music or ever knew what the top 40 was. So whenever you'd bring up whatever song is insanely hot right now, I'm never going to know it. So it's not like this thing happened in the last 3 years.
This isn't new because you're old.
Yeah, I've just always been out of the loop. So I guess I rarely have those, damn, I'm fucking old moments, because
Sure.
whenever Tim talks about a TikTok meme that I may have seen on Twitter or Reddit or saw somebody talk about on a Twitch stream, I'll likely know about it, but I don't really TikTok a whole lot. So I don't know. I think it's just kind of like, what's your online presence like, And I think Greg is probably the youngest of all of us.
As far
in
as
terms
online
of
presence.
Yeah, and just in terms of being positive and always energetic. Like, I wish I had half the energy Greg
he
has.
tweeted out dental
Here we go.
dams, yes or no or whatever it is during.
Dude, have you ever used a dental dam?
That's what
during
it
the
was, right?
football game, right?
It
And let
doesn't
me
get
tell you,
any
there's
more
no-
silly than that.
There's no question on young people's mind
More
than
salient
have you
than-
used
Now,
a dental dam.
we did start off
dams.
the podcast talking about typewriters.
We did.
Hey, that was
But,
just
I
to get
mean-
to the Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
all right?
But
That's-
honestly,
that's true.
here's to Andy, to your point though, like you really are only. I'm sure Kevin will fucking hit me for this one, but you're really only as old as you feel. And like, granted, past a certain point, when you hit about 70, it goes downhill. But I just, one of the reasons I like hanging out with you guys is because I never feel old. We joke about it a lot, but I love experiencing life through all of your eyes and like all the things that you guys love and like all the stuff you bring to the table. Like there's always a moment where I feel, oh, I'm super behind on everything because you guys are always, full steam ahead, TikTok, all that shit. But I love getting exposed to that via you guys. And I think that's like, there was a part of me a long time ago, I think, Tim, when you first met me, where I was kind of closed off to that idea. But over the last 6-7 years, I've just given up on the fact that I'm ever going to know anything of any relevance in this moment. And I just rely on you guys to be like, Nick, this is what this thing is. And I go, cool, I'll enjoy that thing. That's super fun. And then we move on to the next thing. I go, what's that? It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah, what's this news? What happened in pop culture? Who's this person that's getting canceled or whatever? I love just updating Nick with, whatever the happenings on the internet are. It's one of my favorite parts of working
There's
here.
a Reddit that I found a while back, maybe a year ago now, called Out of the Loop.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally just kind of explains
TLDR kind of.
It's TLDR, but it's like what I really appreciate about it is it's very fact based, where there's a process
that
involved.
right now.
There's a process involved of like them wanting to verify the information,
And none of it's biased or whatever.
and yeah, it's very much like, these are the facts. This is what happened. This person tweeted this, then this happened, then blah blah blah. And like, originally found it for more of just like, this thing's trending and it's some dumb shit. Like, why is it trending? And it's a funny joke, but like, there's a lot of canceled stuff. There's a lot of things like that as well, which obviously are never fucking fun.
No.
But
I just subscribed to it on your recommendation, but I appreciate that like the subhead to it is what's everyone on about?
yeah,
Like, what's everyone on? What is this about? What are you talking? Why is everybody mad
such an
about
old
this? What
ass
is
way
this?
of putting it. That I love it.
Yeah, totally.
but that thing's great. But
God.
Andy, to your point about the feeling old, not like relating to the young things, I think that is definitely a huge part of it. But another thing to me is like, I just feel old based on how I think about things. Like, not even content and media and all that stuff, but just, I am now old enough that I can reflect on at least 6 moments in my life that I was like, I'm the person I want to be. And I nailed it. and I've grown so much to get here, and it can't get better. And the way I see things is as right as they possibly can be for where I'm at, and blah blah blah. And every single time I look back and the previous ones, I'm like, you were a fucking idiot, Tim.
You're a dumbass.
Like,
yeah.
there's so much more to learn, and it's funny because it's like it should be obvious, but it's not. To when you really think about yourself and your real feelings and the way that you see the world, like it took me a long time. Like I would say probably wasn't until I was like 27, maybe 28, that I was able to realize that and be like, I was a fucking idiot, but I thought I was right. So every time now that I'm like, I know that I'm fucking right, I question myself and I stop. And I think that's what getting older is. Like that's what that thing is just like, fuck, like as good as I feel right now, I'm gonna feel better in the future, and that better might not mean I'm in a better place in my life. It might not mean I'm dealing with less problems. It might not mean whatever. But whatever I think is really good right now, and I have everything figured out. It's like there's just so much to learn, so much perspective that is gonna change. You know, the world is changing every day, and things that made sense at one point don't make sense anymore. And you know, me having the perspective that I do, I'm lucky enough that I've been born and raised in San Francisco, but have been able to travel around the fucking world and meet so many people and be in so many different places and talk to so many different people with so many different perspectives. And I've always valued that information. I've always valued that as an idea, but I'm finally coming to grips. And it's not like I'm doing it right now. It was a while back now, but I've had multiple years of being able to look at the world through a new lens of understanding of how I see this right now isn't how I'm going to see it in a couple of years. And that's a good thing.
Well, I guess this is growing up.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's good. I mean, I hit that point too. I think you just hit a point where I think when you're young, you struggle to want to have agency over your life, and you struggle to want to have some level of control over what's happening because you're in a constant ever-changing set of circumstances. And then as you get a bit older, you just realize there is no such thing. You just have to progress, and you have to learn, and you have to be, if you're smart and you have good influences around you, like I've been fortunate enough to have, not the smart part, but the good influences part. You realize that you should just be open to new things, and listen to the friends around you who will give you a different perspective on stuff, and you're never going to stop growing. And I think that was the thing that I thought. I was like, I know at some point I'm going to get to a place where like life's fucking easy, and you turn the corner and everything's on easy street, and it doesn't happen because, especially if you're a creative person or if you're running your own business or whatever, there's just always another challenge in front of you. And you can look at that one of two ways. You can be like, oh, fuck, I know exactly what I need to do. Like, I'm going to forget it. Like, I don't even need to deal with this. Or you can go, there's probably a better way to deal with this challenge than the way I dealt with it before, and maybe have a better outcome and be a little more positive about it. And I think that's been a lot of like my personal growth. That's what I've worked on over like the last 10 years for myself, just trying to be open to these new things and like really letting life in.
I think part of it too is, realizing everything you're talking about, Tim. And I think part of that realization goes hand in hand. We were talking about earlier about how old your aunt and uncle were, how old your parents were when they had you or something like that, right? Of when you're a kid and you're growing up, you assume your parents know everything, right? Because you don't know anything. So and then I remember when you I got out on my own, it was that feeling of like, man, I still don't feel like an adult. Man, I still don't feel like an adult. And then I was, finally you have that real moment. And you've known it for a while, but it sinks in of just like, oh, it's because nobody knows what they're doing. Like back to, nobody can control what was outside of their exact, nobody control anything beyond themselves. So like nobody knows what's going on. So you sit there and everybody just jumps off these ledges together and hopes it goes well or does whatever. Nick, you're jumping in.
Do you feel like an adult now?
I mean, I would say yes and no. Yes, because clearly I'm an adult.
You are an
and
adult. Yeah,
we have those moments where it is those. I mean, especially the three co-founders of like those real moments of like, oh right, like Blessing's lives depend on us, and not like he couldn't do without us. But you know what I mean? Like we are, if we fuck up the entire business tomorrow, that fucks up his life in some regard for the for the foreseeable future. So he gets another job, kind of thing. Like there's that part of it, right? And there are those parts in the same way, talk about getting into a relationship or married, or I assume having kids of like, you have to think beyond yourself. You have to think beyond what you're doing, right? And like the choices we're making are no longer choices just about us, they're choices about other people. So in that regard, yes, but not as a kid what I thought an adult would feel like, right? Yeah. I've like, because as you look at your parents and you're like, man, I can't wait to be on my own and know everything is how I felt about it, right? Like to understand how it all works, and yet, and like that just isn't a thing. You know what I mean? I've told the story so many times about, being a kid who was always worried about money. Like always worried about my parents' money because you don't have a concept of money other than if you don't have money, you're broke and you're thrown out of your house and yada, you know what I mean? Like
You
that
gotta let
time
them on Skid Row.
the mom
Always.
broke out the credit card that one time at Toys R Us and like flipped out because I thought that meant to me a credit card meant that you didn't have money.
Endless
You know
money,
what I mean?
yeah.
It'd be that idea of like, oh man, to not worry about money. And then you get here like, oh man, no matter what, I worry about money. I'm always worried about the finances and like how many times a week do I go like, if everything went wrong tomorrow, what would happen and what would I need to do and contingency plans and yada yada yada.
It's funny you
Sell
bring that
Tim.
up though, because it's like, yeah, exactly. Sell me for parts. But,
We just sell Tim.
but it's like, obviously what we do is amazing. And I love the fact that we get to today, as of recording this, we got to, the four of us and Kevin, the five of us total, got to hang out and talk about an Invincible TV show,
Oh, yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier,
So dope.
watch the Suicide Squad trailer. It's like, this is our life. This is what being an adult looks like to us, which is silly to so many people. But I really wonder, like, does anyone feel like an adult? Like, do you ever hit that point where you see yourself as an adult, whether you're an accountant or a lawyer or a this or a that? Like, I wonder what that point is, because maybe, okay, look, all of us are in the 30 to early 40s range. Like, is there anyone out there in that range that feels like an adult? And if not, at what point do they? At what point are you a real adult? Not just I'm 18, so I'm an adult, but like when you're 50, are there 50-year-olds that don't feel like an adult?
No,
My brother's almost 50. Does he seem like an adult to you?
I think a lot of it is because of what our job is and how playful and fun it can be. But if I were an accountant at the age 33 and I had a 4-year-old kid and I had a wife and a house, I'd be like, yeah, I'm an adult. Like I have people I need to that
We're calling
depend
Poe.
on me. I have what's up?
Excellent.
We're calling Poe.
Oh, perfect.
You're describing
Poe
Poe,
has
right?
kids, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a
that's-
kid. He's got a dog now, and he's
Absolutely, yeah.
a doctor of criminal
What
sociology.
kind of dog?
Black Lab.
Oh God, I love labs.
Nice.
I'll send you a photo.
Puppo or?
No, not. I mean, it's still young, but it's not like a puppy anymore. But I think maybe by definition it would be.
Next time he
Voice
comes
mail.
around, tell him to bring it. He meets Cecil.
That's a big flight for that dog.
I'm fine. Give him a
It's gotta,
second.
it's gotta go under the plane, right?
Leave a message and I'll get back to
Nah,
you.
you
as soon as I
just
can.
pop a sedative in him and put him in the bag.
Just put it.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished
Wait,
recording,
you gonna put him in the
hang
bag
up
in
or
the
press one.
under the plane or under your?
I'm joking.
Poe, it's Greg. You're on the Kind of Funny podcast as a voicemail. We obviously talk about toys and comics all day long, so we are sitting here talking about how we don't feel like adults. We were wondering if you feel like an adult, being a doctor and a professor and having a child and a dog. And Kevin asked if it's still a puppy. I forget how old the dog's name is, and if I haven't given it away, I don't know the dog's name because I keep saying the dog. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I love that.
That's the other thing is he's just not on social media like us. Help throw me a lifeline on what this fucking dog's name is. Put up some fucking photos of the dog.
I think a lot of it is just also my lifestyle, because it determines my death style. Metallica lyric from Saint Anger. Terrible fucking song. Awful lyric. Like the
the
first
one
time I
they
heard that
recorded in their
lyric, my
garage?
lifestyle determines my death styles. You guys are awful right now. You need to not be making music, Metallica. I think a lot of it is due to the fact that I don't know how to cook, and there's times that I just will sit in bed and I am watching something on Netflix. And I'm like, I'm 33 right now, and I do not feel like an adult right now.
Yeah.
And it's possible that maybe it's, it's definitely possible that it's because I'm waking up at noon on a Saturday. But I think those things are just very not adult things. Like to me, you're an adult, you have a significant other, you are waking up at 9 or 10 on the weekends. Maybe you sleep in a bit, maybe 10:30, and then you go and you do errands and
around Target,
you
Trader
go to Home
Joe's.
Depot. Yeah, you got to do all the stuff for the house because the plumber's gonna come by on the weekend to install the thing. Yeah, that stuff is like super adult things to me. Whenever we see the term adulting, which I think that we got like overplayed or whatever. But like the stuff that I do here, I don't feel like I'm a quarter of an adult. Go ahead, Kev.
I do think that like adult, like, and this is gonna sound dumb, but like I think what an adult is changing. Like you're like, oh, waking up at fucking noon on a Saturday. It's like, but why are you waking up at noon? Because you streamed the night before. I'm assuming here. And like, why did you stream? Because you wanted to have fun? No, because yeah, but also because it's your side hustle, you know? Like that's
but also because you gotta click heads, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You gotta click them heads.
But like, I mean,
No, I feel that, Kevin. I feel
I
that.
understand what you mean. I understand what you
yeah,
mean,
you know what I mean? Like you
You're
work
not just
late.
dicking around
Yeah.
to sleep until noon. You're dicking around with a purpose and for income. And yeah, I understand.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess, yeah, that income is, helping me, pay off the debts or whatever. So like those things do feel adult, right?
Sure. Well, I think it's the part, and Andy, I think you and I connect on this so much, and I can't speak for Nick and Tim to it, but like, yeah, what you're talking about is what I grew up, that's what defined being an adult was. It was going to the hardware store. It was, building something that you're making from Home Depot. It was mowing the lawn and fixing the thing and changing the oil. And like, that's what my father did. And like, yes, those are things that needed to be done, but those are also very traits I see in Kevin all the time, right? Where it's like, those are also his passions and his hobbies. And like, he was doing it the same way that I play games all the time. He was doing that kind of stuff. Like, he looked forward to the weekends because he loved taking care of his lawn and his yard and landscaping.
You can tell me fucking old Lou Scarpino getting out the mallet to change his brakes wasn't the highlight of his weekend.
Yeah.
He fucking loved that stuff.
He used the mallet to change them?
Oh, there was like a whole process. He had this whole. My dad always had like a MacGyver tool that you're like, I don't think that's the right tool for this, but he's like,
Pushes the
no, it works. And it
pads
always
in
had
with
a
the mallet.
shit ton of duct tape on it.
Yeah, for
but
my
he
dad,
would-
it's
he
all
would
the lawn.
Not get to get the calipers off. In all seriousness, I think that's how they have to get them off. But he'd like loosen them with the crank. But it's just funny because obviously, like what you're describing is my weekend, right? I get up at around 10 o'clock. The missus and I will go for a walk. Maybe get some Starbucks coffee, whatever, hang out for a second and then go run the errands. But even then, I'm still like, I'm enjoying that. I'm in the moment, but there's a part of my brain that's like, I'm gonna go home and play video games, right? Like after all is done and we've done the adulting, quote unquote, I'm gonna go slack off and watch it done. I'm gonna watch Hackers for the 50th time or Point Break, which I did 2 nights ago, even though we literally just watched a week ago. But I was like, I didn't get the nuance, Tim. But the big thing for me is like my parents, when they were my age, I already had 2 kids. I think my mom had me when she was 34. So like Andy, your age, imagine having a second kid. I mean, that would make you'd have to
pretty
grow
damn
up at
fast.
that point. Yeah. And to me, my parents just always seemed so serious. And it's not like I don't remember them laughing, but it was just like there was always like when I saw them, I was like, I don't see them play. My parents never
The responsibilities were crazy. Yeah.
It was just, it always felt like life was sort of weighing them down a little bit. And am I blaming a lot of that on my brother?
Yes,
I'll give 98% of the blame on that for sure. Because he was definitely a handful, but it just always seemed like our generation is so much lucky. We're so luckier because life, I just think is a little bit easier to navigate. We got technology, we got Amazon for Christ's sake. My mom had Amazon. She would never had to go to the store.
Yeah, but that's like
I do think
feel
it's
like-
our jobs. I do think it's our jobs that make it feel easier.
Probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like when I think of being a kid and
'Cause we don't have
my
real jobs.
parents feeling weighed down.
Thank you for that. Patreon.com/kindoffunny.
We love you guys.
And when you mentioned your parents always felt weighed down. Like when I was a kid, it was my mom was on call at the hospital because she was a nurse.
That's serious.
And
shit.
my dad worked at the newspaper and was always getting called in because the press machine went down and it's 2 a.m. and he's having to go over there to talk to the composing department. It's like there was always something going wrong at work that caused my dad to get up at the crazy hours of night to go fix this bullshit, and then he'd get home at like 6 a.m. and just like all pissed off and like just not in a good mood and mad because of whatever work happened that day. And I luckily the most of my experience is like Black Friday. At Best Buy. Like that's the worst kind of work conditions that I've been under.
I'm so happy it has nothing to do with Kind of Funny. You've been working here long enough
Andy.
now. Like what was it actually? We were saying that next week is Andy's anniversary of Kind of Funny from 2017, which makes it
4 years.
Yeah, 4 full years. And then Kevin's anniversary is on the calendar, but it's definitely not correct. To the date is around here as well, which is crazy.
Sunday,
but-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Andy. Like, man, were you not here for the day with the boxes of LaCroix? Jesus Christ.
I
Or,
wasn't, no.
Before your
That's
time, my God.
I was with my
I
ex-girlfriend at Disneyland.
the 1,000 posters that we had to send out because we were like, oh, posters, that'll be easy. 1,000 posters that we had to roll and sit. Rahul was there helping us.
Yeah.
Really?
Never
Was
forget.
he there? I wasn't there for that.
You know,
I was
yeah,
at
that's
the-
old,
No, that was
old
back in the
school.
spare bedroom.
Yeah.
That was back in the spare
spare
bedroom.
Oh,
When-
Rahul.
yeah.
Oh, really? Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. He came through and helped stuff poster tubes for us. It was great. They hung out with Portillo.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this is the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on these microphones twice a week to come bullshit about whatever it is they want to bullshit about. You like that? So you head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can get each and every episode ad-free. You can write in to be part of the show. You can get it with the exclusive post show we do each and every week, twice a week. And you can even be watching live as we record it, just like Josh G, Madeline Stanley, and Nick. We are close, I saw in here. Yeah, Lexi G says, if Greg does, and I don't have a time code stamp, if Greg doesn't do the intro in 2 minutes, prepare for a new record. I'm not. Oh, Madeline Stanley confirms it's a new record.
Wow,
a new record for the
everybody,
intro for the show
congratulations.
happening right here. You could be there having fun with them and celebrating a new record. Why aren't you? No big deal, though. If you don't have the bucks, toss our way on patreon.com/kindafunny. No big deal. You can get each and every episode of the show twice a week. youtube.com/kindafunny. Podcast services around the globe. Of course, you'll have ads. You won't get the post show. You can't catch it live. You can't celebrate the new record. For the record, if you are in your car right now trying to celebrate the new record, pull over and chastise yourself. You are not allowed to do that. You are not here live. It doesn't count for you, okay? Okay. Let's do some housekeeping for you. Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead, creator of Invincible, is coming to the Kind of Funny podcast, guest podcast this week. If you're watching live, this doesn't count for you. You understand what I mean? This week he'll be through, so go to patreon.com/kindafunny with your questions, comments, and concerns for Robert Kirkman. Very excited to sit down with him finally on a piece of Kind of Funny content. Thank you to our Patreon producers at DeNanobiologist, aka Mick Abramson, at DeNanobiologist, aka Mick Abramson. DJ Kento, Devin Carter, Steve Powers, Ryan Trimble, Kieran O'Donnell, Joy, aka Joseph O. Youssef, Aaron Horan, Bill Abui, Julian, the gluten-free gamer, Danny Rodriguez, and Rachel Gray. Today we are brought to you by BetterHelp and HelloFresh. And hey, let's check in with them right now. This episode of the Kind of Funny podcast is brought to you by our new sponsor, BetterHelp Online Therapy. A lot of us take care of our bodies, but 2020 and 2021 have been tough, so we might also want to take care of our minds. There's a misunderstanding of what therapy is. It can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be sitting around talking about your feelings. Obviously, you know, for a long time here on Kind of Funny, we've talked about mental health, and of course, the fact that it shouldn't be something we keep in the shadows. It shouldn't be something you internalize and don't share with anybody. If you're struggling, you need to talk to somebody, whether it be BetterHelp, whether it be a friend, whether it be a spouse, whether it be a family member, whether it be somebody just online like BetterHelp. Obviously, there's a lot going on in everyone's lives, everyone's minds, and everybody deserves peace of mind. So I, of course, am Greg Miller, and I encourage you to seek out therapy if you can. But let's talk right now specifically about BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. It's always a good time to invest in yourself because you are your greatest asset. A lot of people battle with their temper, or their stress is about to kill them, or they have depression, anxiety, PTSD, the list goes on. If this is you could use therapy in your life and some tools that make life easier. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp and the Kind of Funny Morning Show listeners, and there's including everything in there. Get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/morning. Again, if you are a Kind of Funny person and you would like to go get some therapy, you can use BetterHelp and get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp at betterhelp.com/morning. That's betterhelp.com/morning for 10% off your first month. Our next sponsor is HelloFresh. What is HelloFresh? Well, with HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Of course, there's a whole bunch of great stuff you can go get there. There are a whole bunch of good things. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in about 30 minutes or less. HelloFresh offers 10 to 20 minute meals, low prep recipes, and quick breakfasts and lunches, perfect for your busy schedule. With 25 plus recipes to choose from each week, there is something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. Over 4 out of 5 HelloFresh customers say HelloFresh helps them lead a healthier lifestyle with delicious, low-calorie, carb-smart, and vegetarian offers available each week. As you know, a whole bunch of kind of funny people over the years have tried out HelloFresh, myself included. What I love about this is, of course, it gets you cooking. You know, I love to cook, and me using meal kit services like HelloFresh are a big part of it. They send you the stuff. It's pre-portioned. It's pre-packaged. The ingredients, that is. You put it together with the step-by-step. You make a delicious meal. And you learn how to do things in the kitchen that you can take with you long after you stop using HelloFresh, if you do. Of course, you can go to HelloFresh.com/morning12 and use the code morning12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is HelloFresh.com/morning12 and use the code morning12 for 12 free meals, including free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Joseph O. Yusuf, by the way, I got your email. Joseph O. Yusuf is the one who won for the second year in a row for me to draw a commission.
Oh.
And last year I did the Nick is Dream Daddy is what he wanted. And this year he wants me to draw him, I believe, in front of a Gundam. So
of
we'll
course,
see how
you
that
love
goes.
Gundams, and they're the thing you know the best outside of like the back of your hand in Legolas. You know Gundams.
Legolas, yeah.
Legolas,
that's it.
you love
That's
them.
it.
Legolas.
What's
Tuck
up?
it up, Legolas.
fun
Remember
ones is-
Avengers?
How much clothes is he going to be wearing? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think he's going to be in a full pilot suit, is what I'm assuming. I think that's. I think he wants to look like he's in the actual show. Greg's bringing in the whiteboard, or what is
Yeah,
this?
he's got something. I think
Is this the whiteboard, Greg?
I think it's
What's
art.
going on here?
Oh no, I thought are we, you? Oh, it's
Go
perfect.
ahead.
I'm glad you
They're
did it.
done
Great.
talking.
No,
You
is
go, Greg.
where I was going through this, and I, of course, we have at the top of this at the nanobiologist, aka Mick Abramson, who of course is one of the most dedicated, kind of funny best friends. If you aren't aware of the nanobiologist, he is in the Twitch chat each and every day for Kind of Funny Games Daily, keeping us honest with You Are Wrong. Sometimes editorializing a bit too much and getting chastised for it, but he takes it all in stride, and I appreciate that. Yesterday, Big Dog Kevin Coelho came by for an old package swaparoo. I gave him a Theragun and a bunch of Invincible swag. He gave me stuff from the P.O. box that had been there. And one of the things he gave me was a gigantic package from Nanobiologist. And I was like, what the fuck is about to be in this gigantic package? You know
How
what I
many
mean?
how many fucking London biscuits are we gonna get in this thing?
Does he send London biscuits a lot?
No,
don't
I just
think-
every time there's a giant package, it's always obscure foods from a different country every single time. And Andy goes, "Oh, thank God, my Tim Tams are here."
I've never said that.
Yeah. Andy, come on. There was that one time. There was that one time.
Come on, bro.
We got
fucking
the
love
Australian
Tim Tams.
package. You're like, oh, thank God, my Tim Tams.
Remember when Gary was like, "Oh, are you guys gonna eat all those digestives?" And I'm like, "All you, Gary. You can have all of them."
You're referencing
love
a
a
video we
digestive.
made in 2015. I
So-
love
I
it,
mean,
though.
it happens.
I listened to that on the way to Austin.
I open it up.
Who gave us the cheese puffs? Who gave us the cheese puffs? That's all I gotta know. Remember that someone kept giving us
Oh my
bins,
God,
those giant bins of
huge
fucking cheese
barrel.
puffs,
Yeah.
off-brand cheese puffs, and we
Yeah,
ate them.
yeah.
Me and Kevin ate them all secretly. We didn't
That's
tell
big
each
felt
other.
core.
so
That's
bad
big core.
afterwards.
Big
Yeah,
cool.
Big Core
Tough.
sent lots of food, right? He would
Yeah.
just send all sorts
Fuck
of
me,
food over
dude.
there. That remember when
Don't
he sent all
send us
those
food.
oatmeal cream pies? Oh my God.
Oh God.
I was
Moon
in
pies.
cream
Moon
pie
pies?
heaven.
Oh my God.
No, the cream pies, the little Debbie's. Remember?
Someone sent us moon pies too.
Oh, that's
a
right.
lot
Yeah,
of
that
Moon
happened.
pies.
I think it was.
Good
I think it
too.
was. I think it was Big Core. I think Big Core was doing it then too. Anyways, we're getting off track. The giant package from Nanobiologist, and I'm like, what the fuck is this gonna be? I open it up. There's a lovely letter in there, and he said that they were cleaning up his parents' house and they were going through some of his stuff, and they ran into an original cell from the Super Friends that was in his dad's collection.
That's rad.
And his mom was like, "Do you know anybody who would want it?" And he go, "Yeah, I did." And he sent it to me.
That's
Wow.
sick.
I got
That's
Superman,
awesome.
Wonder Woman chilling out. Beautiful, beautiful frame.
Whoa.
Mick, thank
Holy
you so much for
crap!
this.
That's
stunning.
amazing.
That's
Of
really
course,
cool.
you don't have to send us stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think you have to.
But
yeah,
the P.O. box
this
is full
isn't us
enough.
stumping for
Please
gifts or anything
don't.
like that. Please don't. I'm serious. Please
Yeah,
don't.
the
But
P.O.
this
box-
is above and beyond, Mick.
But if your dad has a super rare cell from a cartoon that I like, just steal it from him. and send
If
it
your
to me.
dad
I'll
has like
never
a
sell
cool car or something,
your dad got a credit card. Send
maybe
it
an
my
old
way.
Fender.
Yeah, I talked about it on
Get
last
some-
with the Danny podcast, but we're getting ready to move, and I'm gonna make sure I put this up. In
That's
my space
amazing.
that'll be
That's
far,
really
far away
damn
from
cool.
Jen's
That's really
sweater.
dope.
And then Kevin, you gave me also just a loose Grover. Do you know who that was from?
That
I
sounds
don't
like a
believe the packaging had any names
like a
on
haunted
it.
tale loose
It's
Grover.
like some of the stuff was in
Sounds
my
like we
garage.
use like a dingleberry.
It
Like
ripped
your
out.
dog's got a loose Grover.
Okay. Somebody had hinted a long
Unfortunately,
time
yeah.
ago in a chat that Grover was coming. We'll get to the bottom of it. Let me know. Just tweet
I'm
at
sorry
me. And
for
if I don't
that,
see-
guys. Again, the post office does not like us. They call me personally on my cell phone to tell me to come pick stuff up. I don't know how.
I would like to put out there too. I vetted this past my wife, who is much smarter than me, and because you said yesterday, hey, yeah, the fucking post office called and was like, come get your packages. You have too many packages. And I wanted, after you dropped the stuff off and I opened up Nick's amazing gift, I was like, Jen, didn't we just go to the post office, the P.O. box recently? And she's like, yeah, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And I remember because I went there and there was just a wedding invitation and some like bill. And I was like, oh man, somebody had mentioned the Grover thing, which sent me there. They didn't put anything in there, Kevin. I was there. So I'm not saying this is on you. I'm just saying post office pulling some shenanigans over there.
Well,
Unless we have two P.O. boxes
no,
that could be very clear.
I mean, also there was the package that I gave you, and then even bigger one for everyone. Everyone except
They usually
for
put the
Nick
thing
got a
in there. Though.
package.
They put the thing in there that you pull out and you go, oh yeah, okay, I got to do this thing. Oh yeah, I got to go.
No,
you
yeah,
know,
no. I'm
turn
sorry.
it.
Yeah, they had that thing. I think it was taking up
what-
too much space. Like Barrett got a package, Andy got a package, Tim got a package. Not Nick.
And I talked about the gift that I received today on the stream, but I want to say it here because I got to assume whoever sent me this probably watches the Kind of Funny podcast because I know
hope
the
they
VOD
do.
content can be a little bit tougher to watch. But whoever's sending me these gifts, let me know who you are. I would like to thank you because you sent me a really nice Christmas gift. And you sent me a birthday gift that I obviously was in the P.O. box sitting in there, and I got it yesterday. And it's always like a custom loot box for me, like a loot crate sort of thing. Where
That's awesome.
The for Christmas there was a Metal Gear Solid shirt. There was all sorts of neat little nerdy knickknacks, like some pins and things like that. This time they sent a big bag of Jelly Belly jelly beans, which I've been housing. They sent
Nick's all worked
this thing
up.
which looks like the Lord of the Rings book, but inside of it it's just
Open it up,
kind of
there's
like
a gun.
Gimli's
there's
in
a
it.
gun, yeah. No, there's this cool the Continental thing.
Oh,
Enjoy your stay. There's a lot of neat little stickers. There's also a shot glass that is the E-Tank from Mega Man, which is awesome as hell.
Yeah.
So it's always things that are really like custom to my interests and things like that, but it's always signed R. And I would like to know who you are. Yeah, exactly.
Who are you?
Who are you? So thank you for that. I
That's
also just got a paper cut from the book, so never mind. I hate you for
Wow.
the damages. I will be
There it is.
suing you for
Watch
the
out for
damages.
lemons.
Andy, I think
Hey everybody,
heard
I
it.
got
Tell me about this CVS guy you don't like.
I got a fucking bone to pick right now, right?
Strap in.
New guy got hired at CVS recently. Seems like a nice
Look
guy.
at me, he's the new guy.
I love that you go to the fucking CVS so much that you know the people there by name. It's great.
Well, first off, I had wanted to tell a story from a while back because there was a lady, an older lady, kind of at the register, and I'm in line, and she's like, "So, do you think they have like secret cameras or hidden cameras to where I could maybe see what was on?" And I could report it. So I'm like, oh, what are they talking about? And and after I kept on listening, something got stolen from the bus, or she had left her wallet on the bus or something. So she was asking this guy who works at CVS, and he was like, oh, I'm not sure, ma'am. He was being nice,
Sure.
And then
Ma'am,
she
have you
eventually,
not seen any cop drama? You have to get a court order for the security footage. Also, it's possible none of these cameras work. They're not.
yeah,
hooked up.
oh, for sure, yeah. And then she eventually gets to asking, and she totally profiled the dude, tall white guy, skinny, long hair, glasses, and she goes, "By the way, do you know how to set up a YouTube channel?" Because he looks nerdy, and he was like, yeah." And she goes, could you help me set up my YouTube channel if I were to come back here later one day? And he was like, yeah, okay. She was, yeah, because I've been wanting to post up some stuff on a YouTube channel. Just I need help setting it up. So he was like, okay, sure. And I felt like I was at Best Buy working like this poor dude, but except he's at CVS trying to ring me up. And then she goes, oh, maybe you can help me with my WordPress site too. And he was like, oh, I don't know WordPress, man. I do not know.
Yeah, that's where I draw the line.
I
he
don't know
did
how
WordPress, but he was like, I'm not.
He's like, I'm out. I know. I've learned my lesson with this lady.
So in another world, this guy is Andy, and he is so classically Andy that he's like, oh yeah, you know what? I'll help you with the YouTube channel.
Probably
Andy would go
out.
home and learn WordPress.
No, Andy would say he could, but then he'd be like, it's like when someone asks him about the TVs, what do you think about this Magnavox? And he was like, oh, this
I
was
love it. This is
great.
the one you want.
A lot of people like this.
So I felt bad for this guy, and he just seemed like a nice dude. But then that's where the sympathy ends, and then the sort of kind of annoyances begin.
Okay.
Because then I go in again, and what am I buying from CVS? Take a fucking guess. It's always the same shit.
Cheetos.
It's always Coke
Takis.
Zeros.
The
It's
Mountain
always
Dews.
like a special Mountain Dew, which, by the
Yeah.
way, they have the melon flavor in 0 now, 0 calorie, and it is fucking delicious.
How does it
dude.
compare? Because I fell in love with the melon flavor with the sugar. Why do you drink it like that? That's
It's as if it's got sugar.
Tommy drinks.
It tastes amazing, Greg. It tastes fucking amazing. Anyway, I'm always buying a bunch of stuff. I don't want to go a whole lot, so I'll buy like a couple bags of Skinny Pop popcorn, maybe a bag of Flamin' Hot Fries if they got one, maybe a couple of Mountain Dews, Diet Cherry Coke Zeros, all this stuff. But one of the days they had 3D Doritos,
oh,
which is rare, right? So I got all the ranch
Is it?
3D Doritos.
Just at that
for
store?
for the CVS. The
Okay.
CVS is not very. They're not very modern with. That's why I'm shocked they got this, Greg. Trust me, I'm shocked.
gotcha.
So I get a bunch of 3D Doritos and I bought them all. And he's like, damn, you're gonna have a big game night, or huh? Call of Duty. You playing a lot of Call of Duty night or something? Because I had Mountain Dews and Doritos, and
Okay.
I was like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, here we go. This is where it starts. And the annoyances are already beginning. And he keeps on commenting on just the amount of things that I have.
Wait, Andy, real quick.
It's okay.
If this guy turns out to be a Nitro Rifle Association member, I'm gonna be so happy.
No,
Were you
this story is
not-
not going to go anywhere interesting. Go ahead,
Were
Kevin.
you not gonna play Warzone later that night?
I mean, probably, Kevin. Probably.
All right. So, I mean,
But
like nail on
it-
the head, though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, he nailed it all. Go ahead, Greg.
I wanted to put this on yours and Nick's radar as well, and I guess maybe Tim now a little bit. He's been playing the Warzone, right?
Yeah,
I played
Tim's a
it
Warzone
once.
guy.
The guy across the way here in this apartment only plays Warzone.
I'll
So if
probably
you
fuck him
ever
up a couple
hear
times.
me coming through his mic, let me know.
Okay, cool.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, was he one
mean,
of the
you'd
fucking
have-
assholes that was keeping me from doing recons last night in Plunder?
Probably.
Piece of fucking shits. I'm just trying to fucking Andy. I'm just,
Just
trying
let
to
him
have
get
level
money.
up.
Let him level up the
Let me just
fucking
fuck,
guns.
I'm not fucking trying to kill you, dude. Fucking let me go. I'm
So
putting
then
up the flag. I'm just going.
several more times of visiting, he keeps on making comments on what I've got. And then eventually I go in one day and I have headphones on. I'm like, please don't talk to me. I don't want you to comment on the things I'm buying. I know I'm disgusting. Let me be disgusting.
Yeah.
And he goes, I forgot what I was buying. I was buying like 3 cans of some whatever, 3 bottles or whatever, and a couple of chips. And he goes, oh damn, you're gonna have a big snack night, huh? Like he had to do that thing. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, wait, were you the guy who bought like all those 3D Doritos the other day and this other stuff? And I was like, no, it doesn't sound like me.
It's live.
And he goes,
No.
really? Because I could have sworn. And then he looks at the coworker. He's like, yeah, because I could have sworn. I'm pretty sure it was you because you had like a bunch of bags of 3D Doritos. You had bought like a whole bunch of them, and then you bought. And then what he mentioned, what I think he got the item wrong. He said I bought like the Monster Coffee Energy, like the coffee flavor. And I was like, no, that's definitely not me. I never buy the coffee stuff. But I'm pretty sure he just had it mistaken.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting sick and tired of this guy. Like I need to. But okay,
He's
but here
really trying to be your friend.
Yeah, he's trying to be nice to
he's
you.
a friendly guy. He's a friendly guy for sure. But maybe this is what I need. Maybe I need the subtle shaming. Maybe this
Is he
discourages
shaming
me.
you?
I think he wants
maybe
to hang
this
out.
discourage. No,
wants to
I
play
mean,
he
some
just thinks you're
Warzone,
cool.
man.
Yeah, he
no,
wants to be your friend.
no. It's
Invite him
definitely
over to
like
play Warzone.
it's definitely
Here-
like a do you eat anything else sort of thing. Like it's definitely not a
Andy, ask him his gamer tag next time.
an endearing thing. No, I don't know if
I
he
feel like
even
you're judging
games,
this guy
dude.
because he doesn't know WordPress.
a little bit, Greg. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Now, here's what I'll say I'm willing to do for you because I'm your friend.
Oh, great.
Me and Kevin will drive over there with you.
Yeah,
and
we'll
we'll go and we'll pretend like. Well, no, Kev, we're not there yet.
No?
But that is
No?
option C.
Yeah,
Okay,
all
that's
right, I'm
option
ready.
C. Okay. Option A, we pretend to be strangers and we stand in line behind you so that we can listen to these interactions and see potentially if you're misjudging this. Okay.
Oh fuck!
What happened?
I got a great
Did
idea.
Kevin-
No, I got a great idea.
No, give it to it. Give it. Okay. Option B.
I was gonna
Andy,
say, what
Andy,
if I call in on Discord with my phone?
No. I want to be two people behind you. Nick's gonna be in line. He's gonna buy 1 pack of AA batteries. I'm gonna get
just
even
one pack.
more
Like
chips.
these one AA batteries, please.
I'm gonna get
And
more
I'll be like the
chips.
control, right? Like the
Right,
Okay, this
yeah,
guy's gonna
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
about.
you're right there,
Yeah,
you're right there.
exactly. I love it.
You're setting
I'm
the baseline.
doubling the chips that you're getting.
Yeah.
So he
Got
thinks
it,
you
okay.
got a lot of chips. Wait till he sees.
Wait,
me.
yeah, he ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah.
Company buys, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna eat them
Ah,
together,
good.
but don't tell anyone I ate them.
Okay,
I'm
but
on a diet.
so what is this solving?
I don't know
Just
what
to
the
see-
problem is. What's the problem? Or are
The
we just
problem
mad
is
that he's
this-
commenting on your stuff?
This is a boundary issue for Andy. This guy is clearly.
It's a
The
shaming
thing is,
thing.
like, when I go to the corner store, which I did last night, I'm not ashamed to say it because I wanted some goldfish. I put the goldfish on there, and the very nice older couple that runs my liquor store, they know, right? They know that it's snack time. I'm not buying this because I need these. I'm not buying this because they're good for me.
Because
So I
of
put it up there.
chit-chatter.
The guy just says the price, and he kind of gives me the look like I could give you shit for this right now because I know but you're in here every night. Whatever. Go about your business. Liquor store owners, CVS owners, Walgreens cashiers should be like drug dealers. Let me get in. Let me get out.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about this. We don't want to. I don't want to have a relationship with you because you know too much about me.
If Nick walks in with a bunch of condoms, I'm gonna be like, "Oh,
Fucking fuck
Gonna have a
fest
nice
tonight.
night.
Fucking tonight.
yeah." Like,
I'm like,
just,
no, this shit's gonna last
just
me
don't
for
say
fucking 2
anything.
years.
Ask me for
Again,
my phone.
I think next time this happens, you talk to this guy about playing Warzone together. I think it sounds like he just wants. How would he know that? The only people who know the stereotype of Mountain Dew and Doritos are the gamers. That's us. He's
but
one
it's
of us.
like, somebody
And not
who's
only is
ever...
he one of us, he's talking about Call of Duty, so he's like the mainstream one of us, the one that like watches your Twitch stuff.
No,
Come on.
there's definitely a guy there who is like a gamer who's seen me with my Twitch sweater and during E3 at one point was like, I was wearing an Overwatch thing and he asked me about Overwatch. He asked me, there's definitely a guy who's like a real gamer. This guy wears like a lot of corduroy. I don't think he's a gamer.
Out of all the things, this guy wears a lot of. I thought it could have went so many different places. Corduroy, not
Yeah.
one, not one on the list.
He looks more like he collects a lot of vinyl records. Like he's a very hipster kind of looking dude.
But
Has like
Andy,
a corduroy
here's the
jacket,
thing.
brown.
The story that you told, the 2 stories you told about this guy, to me it seems like he's desperate for human interaction. He just told a random stranger, yeah, I'll help you set up a YouTube channel.
He felt bad. He felt bad.
Do you
Now,
think he was
does
trying to
the
get
other
sick
guy?
days?
No, the lady is way older.
What? What's wrong with it? Like sometimes that happens.
Hey man, love knows no age.
Yeah.
We're all getting older.
I mean,
Day by
Nick,
day.
probably don't say that. Just
it
don't
can
say
get
that.
illegal, yeah.
Yeah, that seems like
Love is blind. That's why they say it. Blind to.
Anyway, so I just
Let me
wanted
ask you this
to...
question: Does the other guy there? Does he wear a lot of like dry wick shirts, the ones that look like super uncomfortable that they always make the pro gamers wear?
No, he's always wearing his CVS shirt. Kind of like a long ponytail, so you could tell he probably listened to a lot of like Pantera or Slayer. But he's a nice dude. He's a very like a kind soul.
I feel like you
I'm
judge
gonna-
people a lot by their looks, Andy. I just want to tell you that.
Well,
Like,
what else can you judge?
Well,
him off of?
I'm being observant.
Their
Kevin.
personality.
I'm being observant.
Yeah.
Like, I've never
Andy
said-
doesn't want to cross that line. He doesn't want other personalities. He just wants to get in, get out, get his drug, get out.
Andy,
true.
do me a favor. All right, here you are. You're sitting here judging this guy, and because he's looking at you and he's like, "Oh, this guy probably plays Call of Duty. This guy probably blah blah blah." I want you to walk up to him and be like, "Do you listen to Slayer? Do you listen to Pantera?
Wow.
We need to get the facts." You know
The
what
other
I mean?
guy? Okay.
need to know.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is the other guy.
Flip
This
it
isn't-
on him.
This isn't corduroy guy.
Oh, gotcha.
No,
Also, why? How do you know he's corduroy guy? Don't you know him from wearing CVS outfits?
No. So the corduroy guy will put the corduroy jacket over the CVS shirt.
that's
So
so
navy
hipster.
blue CVS
That's
shirt.
very
Boss
hipster.
move.
Yeah.
No.
Which is like kind of
That's
a thing
illegal.
that
It's not allowed.
you should not be doing that.
No.
Yeah. When I worked at Best Buy, I was like, no, you cannot wear a jacket over your Best Buy shirt. Are you kidding me? People are gonna know you work there. They're not gonna
Do
know.
you think he's violating the store policy?
Definitely.
Possibly. I'd like to maybe report him.
See, this isn't the kind of shit that would happen at Walgreens. Walgreens a much better organization, in my
Way
opinion.
tighter shape. I've
'Cause
never
here's
seen
the
a
thing,
Walgreens
there's a-
person wearing a jacket.
There's a young
fuck
woman who
around.
works there too who never mentions what I'm buying. Right? She was always the
Good.
one that I would go up to. And by the way, I think she came back from her vacation. I overheard like he was mentioning like, oh, you know what it was? He was like, yeah, while you were on vacation, I could have sworn that it was this guy who was buying all these 3D Doritos. I was like, oh, it's just she was on vacation. Young lady never ever mentions what I'm
Yeah.
buying. Never makes a comment to it. I'll have like 8 because it's always like CVS very very marked up, but it'll be like 3 for $6 to get these little bottles of energy drinks. Go ahead, Greg.
Do we think that we've stumbled into like the back door of some kind of rom-com where this woman who works there mentioned that she was attracted to you, but this guy's got unrequited feelings, so now he's trying to tear you down by calling out to her that this is the guy who bought all the 3D Doritos. Isn't this the guy who eats like garbage and is a gamer? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Damn,
he'll never have fun. Like, you
Yeah.
should date people like me. Is that what's happening?
It's possible, Greg. I hadn't really thought of that yet. But also, this guy, I can't tell whether he's 22 or 38. Like, he's just kind of
Again,
He just
bringing
got a-
the
he's
ring.
got a
Most people
look.
can't tell if you're 22 or 38. So you're. I mean,
Great point.
You know what I mean? Like you got a young face.
You got great skin, smooth skin.
I tweeted at CVS to see if there's a dress code for employees. So if we can get them on a technicality out of there, we got them.
Or you want to fire this man? You want to get this guy fired?
come
You
on.
want to take
During
his
the
livelihood
pandemic,
away?
let's not do. Let's not.
No,
just
no,
become
no.
friends.
Don't jump to getting fired. Just jump to starting a conversation
No, people
wanna
about
shame
someone who
him
could
more.
be 28 or 38
Yeah.
wearing corduroy and asking too many fucking questions. All
Yeah,
right.
they can't. They're gonna
Yeah.
fire him.
stop commenting.
CVS
on
does
my
not want
junk
to take
food.
that kind of chance. They're gone. They're gonna look. They're gonna look at your Twitter handle. 1.2 million Twitter followers. They're gonna be like, this guy's gonna start some shit. We gotta fire whoever he's talking about right now.
They just
Yeah,
close the
you
store.
fucking blue
it's like,
check mark.
It's like an orbital strike. They're like, just get it out of here. Just
I don't
done
need
with
to
it.
deal with this shit.
Just don't even need it.
It's just like I just know I'm gross. I don't need you to
no,
reinforce.
Andy, you're
I
not
get
gross.
it,
Just like
dude.
Doritos.
Dude, the guy last night.
No, do not comment on people's purchases. Period. If you are working at a
True.
retail place, do not fucking do that. That's not how this works. Like, I'm not saying we should get this guy fired, but
Look,
I
I'm
am
not-
saying like
No,
this
see, no.
motherfucker needs to change.
I'll
I'm not
disagree
saying
with
you should.
I'll
I'm not
disagree
saying
with
you
you.
should
You know
never
what, fuck it.
comment.
Get him fired. He deserves to learn a lesson.
no.
No,
Pull the trigger.
Mike,
I'm
don't do it.
following
Don't
up.
do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not saying you should never comment on somebody's purchases, but when it's an excess, like, you know, if Tim walks up with Germex, I'd be like, yeah, I love that brand. Whatever.
That's-
Just
that
you're
was-
making
that was it.
conversation.
Positivity's okay.
Small
That's
stuff.
fine.
I want,
Right.
I want reaffirmation. I want you
Yes.
to make me feel like the thing that I'm buying is the right
Upsell me.
choice.
Make me
Upsell
want to buy
right?
another.
I walk out of a Sam Goody with a Ninja Scroll DVD, and I want you to be like, "Oh, dude, one of my favorites." So I feel good about that $45 purchase back in the
Yeah.
day.
Like
Good about
if I mean, I tell you what, the amount of times that I've gone and there's an older woman who also works there that I'll bring up an item and she'll be like, oh, if you get the other one, it's this much off. I'd be like, oh fuck yeah, let's go get another
How
one.
often
Like
do you go
I'm
to
totally
CVS?
like twice a week, I'd say.
The best is when you go when I was at Best Buy.
No,
last time.
definitely more than twice a week.
Yeah,
because
I was
it's kind
about
of-
to say, I
I
don't
was
want
like,
to call
once a
you
day.
out, but like you definitely go. Like,
yeah,
every
but no,
time I
but
talk
sometimes,
to you.
but honestly, sometimes I don't buy anything. Like that's the weird.
I mean,
So you
no,
treat
fucking-
CVS like Kevin and I treat Best Buy.
Like, cause it's a good walk.
Andy.
It's a nice like
no.
far walk.
I'm here with Andy. Every time I go to my local Walgreens for one reason and one reason only. I like to get those mini cans of Diet Coke so I can feel like a giant.
Right. So you get.
But I walk through all the other aisles just to see what the current like seasonal candy offering is. See what like if they have what like a
What's
fresh
hot?
box
What's popular?
of reduced fat wheat thins. See what the date is on the goldfish. And by the way, the June goldfish a little too crispy but very salty and it compensates for them. So if you get
June
the June
21st,
13th,
right?
Oh, it might have been 21st. I think mine was the
Yeah.
13th batch. Have you noticed they started putting little goldfish stickers on it now?
I just saw Tim's reaction.
You guys, I love it. I love it. This is dedication that I fucking appreciate.
There's two
Definitely.
different things going on here. All right. Number one, I responded to my own tweet. This is to CVS. CVS, is there at CVS Pharmacy, is there a dress code for employees? You guys thought this was going to lead to me getting the guy fired. That's not what I want. So I responded, to be clear, I don't want the SF employee who wears corduroy and is between 28 and 38 years old fired. I just want him to stop commenting on my friend Andy's purchases.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great.
It's fine now. Are we happy with that?
That's not a boundary issue at all for me or for Andy.
Imran replies and says, "Sorry, Greg. Somewhere on the very long receipt, it does say that CVS employees are allowed to riff on your purchases."
By the way, these receipts, get a life. Like, come on with these receipts.
You know what
Enough
else I
of
have
the
a
receipts.
bone to pick with when it comes to CVS and Walgreens?
Sure.
So,
Their toy sections. Because we
Sucks.
talk about Target, and it's like, we're all looking forward to getting to that toy section, looking at some Legos, looking at some dope stuff.
All right.
Why are Walgreens and CVS toy sections the saddest things ever? And it's not like, they used to be so much better. They were never good.
No,
but
Tim,
it's like,
Do I want to buy a fucking Slinky? No.
Wait.
Do I want to buy this, like, it's like, the Super Mario Brothers action figures, but it's like they don't have
Tim,
Mario. It's just fucking Shy Guy.
Tim, you can't do this
Green
comparison.
variant.
You like it, Tim. Right now, you're doing the comparison of how come at this Jiffy Lube the drink offerings are so bad. Like it's just like you don't. The toy section at a CVS and Walgreens may as well not even be there, right?
See,
Like it's such
I
an
disagree with
afterthought.
you hard because they're small stores, and the toy aisle
part.
is an aisle. It is an entire aisle. Like there's some real estate. If they don't want to take it seriously, maybe make it a fucking shelf end. Maybe make it a book end to the whole thing. Maybe a kiosk at most. But no, they dedicate way too much space. But I do want to give a shout out to the magazines that are usually across from the toys because they are awesome. as
That
hell.
section is shrunk down too. And
Magazines
granted, there's
are
part
tiny.
of this of like being a kid, rose-colored glasses, of going there and having like this giant aisle of magazines and this giant aisle of toys. But yeah, the shit sucks now. I'm sorry, Nick, you've had your hand up.
I was gonna say I got my favorite toy ever at a Thrifties in the Canyon Crest Center in Riverside, California. It was my Batman with the belt that you could pull out to be an actual Batarang. So they weren't all bad. Maybe they
Notice I didn't say Thrifties. Thrifties
Fair.
and Rite Aid, dope as fuck.
Okay, cool.
That's
I appreciate
my
that.
point. They can have dope toys, and they just choose not to, or I don't know what the deal is.
Tim,
I'm gonna
No,
offer
but
one
the toy aisle
critique.
has just merged with the arts and crafts aisle. Go ahead, Nick. I just wanted to throw that.
Well, that was going to be my critique on Target, right? And you all know I love a Target. My goal in life is to retire from Kind of Funny and go and manage a city Target to start, and then eventually I'll go to a full blown Target out in the middle. Now, I don't ever want to get to the point, Tim, where it's like the Target with the Slurpee and the Pizza Hut in the middle and the Starbucks.
Superstore.
That's a little too much Target for me. But what I will say is one of the things that I will implement is I'm just going to flat out get rid of the sporting goods section because I feel like it is every time I turn the corner and I think there's going to be another aisle of toys and it's the fucking weights and the tennis balls and the rackets. I'm like, nobody needs this shit. Nobody's buying this shit.
You bring up a very good point, but it's like it's a weird gradual decline into insanity. It feels like because you start looking through the toy aisles and like let's just say there's like 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
And it's like banger. It's
great.
Usually it starts off pretty weak if I'm being honest. Because
Yeah, it's
usually it's
usually
like
toddler
preschool
toys. You're like,
kids,
"Ah, this
toddler
shit,"
stuff.
yeah.
Like okay,
Yeah.
great,
Get
whatever.
the fuck out of here.
You see this shit, and then it's like,
Legos.
oh crap, bangers, action figures, Lego. It's cool, great, this is awesome.
I love Lego.
Then there's the very pink section, which is like
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's
understand
always so
it has
pink.
its place. You
So
need
pink.
it. Usually 2 of those, and I'm
It's like it's a
okay.
palate cleanser, you know?
And that's the thing is like I get it. It's not for me, but it's for others, and I respect it. It's cool. But then you get to the part where it's like wooden toys and stuff
No,
before you get to the
fucking
sporting
learning
goods,
shit.
Boring
and you're
shit.
just like, yeah, all the learning stuff, and it's just like, yo, this isn't serving anybody. Like you need to
Double up on the Legos. If I were the
Double up.
GM, double up on the Lego. Let's get some more. Let's get a different brands of footballs in here because it's always the 2 footballs and it's maybe the one rubber kind of colorful one. We got to double up on what makes a store better, and it sure as hell are not these stupid blocks. These wooden block toys. Get out of my life.
Do you guys remember
Nobody wants that
when
shit.
I dragged everyone to a Target to help me pick out a gift for my buddy's kid, and we bought the Buzz Lightyear, like spinner like wrist shooters and the helmet, and then he never opened up the helmet, but he tortured his mother with those fucking shooters for
Nice.
like 2 months straight.
Love it.
And I loved that day because me and Kevin were like, "How many Nerf guns can we buy right now? It's
a great
day.
It's the thing adults can do."
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny podcast. We have a post show to do. Before then, we do have to close the loop on one thing. I need to apologize to my best friend, Poe. Kevin, I sent you a link where, if you remember, I was like, Poe's a normie. He doesn't use social media. He doesn't post photos of this dog. How would I fucking know the name of this dog? Poe's most recent Instagram post is a fact of the dog from August. The dog is named Rex.
Rex. It's great.
Rex.
Rex
that's
is the
a good
name. He's a
So
good looking
turns out
dog
you're
too.
a bad friend.
No.
That's
Oh, is he private?
Private.
oh,
Yeah.
I
I'll get you
also
on this.
I
I'll get
also
you on
wanted
this.
to clarify that I'm not excited when people get canceled. Because I made it seem like I get really
no,
stoked
you
to tell
didn't.
Nick
I don't
about
think you-
news.
No, you didn't. I don't think you sounded that way. I think people got it. It's mostly you
Again,
get
we
excited
don't want to
show the old
cancel
man
a corduroy
Adams.
man / child. We're just saying stop
child,
commenting on stuff. I sent it to you, Kevin. It's just a photo that you can put up there. I also, Andy said, thank you, Greg, to my tweet on Twitter. And then I responded, at Doritos, we need your help. My man here is getting judged by CVS cashiers about how many 3D Doritos he's buying. Can you send him a bunch so he doesn't have to deal with
You're
this?
a busy bee.
I'm gonna.
I also
I'm gonna-
have a full-blown conversation with Barrett.
I'll tell you what. Next time I might go in there and I might just record voice memo on my headphones. He'll never
Dude,
know.
wear a collared shirt with the little pocket. Put your phone in here, just like Joaquin
Captain
Phoenix and
Falcon.
her. Go in there, get me some
Say it
information.
like that.
If me and Nick go
It's
in there,
fun
we
to
have
say. It's
we
fun
can
to
do
say.
A/B testing, Andy. Someone with more things, someone with less things, but is more charismatic and talkative. You know what I mean? Like we can find out if this guy's just uncomfortably talking with everyone. I'll ask him to hang out if he starts talking to me.
Oh, Kevin will hang out with him. Kevin will have a whole
well,
narrative.
I
For
don't know,
3 or
but
4
I
years with
know
this guy.
you know what? Here's the
You
thing.
need to borrow my truck?
I'll probably.
Kevin's like,
stand
what do you do
him
this
up,
weekend,
if I'm
Kevin?
being honest,
I'm helping
'cause it,
corduroy
like,
guy move.
you guys aren't listening, and like what's gonna happen is way worse for him. Like he's
Fucking
upset
with
Andy
Kevin.
at this point, so like
Sure.
I have to hurt him emotionally. So I'll plan like a hangout date, and then I'll just stand him up.
And then just not show up.
Yeah,
Damn,
delete the
that's
phone
fucked up,
number.
Kevin.
Like, yeah, I know, and that's
Ice
but like
cold
that's what
for the
happens when you come
jugular.
at my guys. You know what I mean?
Ice cold, bro.
Yeah,
Ice cold.
I cut your ankles.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
You're
the Kind of Funny podcast. Each and every week, we bullshit around bullshit we
Cemetery,
like to
huh?
bullshit about. Remember, you get 2 a week. Your next one this week is Robert Kirkman. Get your questions in on patreon.com/kindoffunny for the creator of Invincible and The Walking Dead. We will be back with that on what? Is that Thursday, Tim? I forget when that episode is live. It's live on Wednesday, maybe?
That would be Thursday.
It's live?
Because we record Wednesday, it goes live Thursday.
Line.
There you go. So if you want to watch live with us with Robert Kirkman, patreon.com/kindoffunny on Wednesday, and then everybody else Thursday. Like, subscribe, share. We're gonna go do a post show now. Andy's giggling about something. What are you giggling about? Or actually, save for the post show. Until next time with Robert Kirkman. It's been our pleasure to serve you.